Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us.
What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Hello, I'm Billy Cobbin, the Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Pros Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy.
And I'm Denise. And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
How about that intro, man?
Wow.
Look, here's Jason Bay. Just kidding. Donnie Gensel joining us to get started. What's up,
Good
man?
morning.
Good to see you.
Yes, sir. You too.
Gensel Heating and Air here with us on a thankful Thursday. Jason will be with us in a few moments, but Donnie, every year, man, third year being here at the Raise of Hope, and appreciate your support, man. You've been an hourly sponsor. Sorry we couldn't go on right at 7. We were running short staff today, but we're doing all right, brother.
You had the fat kids out here helping you, and it shows.
Nah, I turned up the brightness, man. So it's kind of bleeding,
right in.
It's bleeding
well,
in,
good,
man.
Good.
You know what, man? It's so much fun to be here every year and to just find ways to give back and help out the community. We are here. We want to welcome you in as we get rolling. Again, Donnie is our hourly sponsor here for the 7 a.m. hour. But we are on episode 525 of Good Morning Huntsville. It's always brought to you on a Thursday by First Baptist Church. But Donnie here with us. We wanted to highlight how you've been, what you've been up to this morning. And thank you, first and foremost, for being here again. Third year, man. You've been out here supporting this, helping to give back to nonprofits, man.
It's a blessing to be able to do this. So, of course, I'm from here. My wife's from here. We're just, we're hometown folks. So we just gives us a chance to give back.
Yeah, well, every little bit helps, and our hourly sponsors, there's funds that we try to give to several organizations. Some of them will give food and other items, diapers. We're looking for diapers today, too, man. If you guys can come out here, we're at the HEB parking lot. We're going to be out here all day today, and it is a nice, beautiful day. The rain is gone, but bring your canned food items. $20 or more is going to get you a limited edition Rays of Hope t-shirt. We've only got 100 of them this year, so make sure you get out here. And some of them have already flew off the shelves, man. So make sure these are coveted, by the way.
Coveted shirts.
Coveted shirts, man. So come out. But the whole point we're here today is helping out 5 area nonprofits. That's why Donnie has wanted to be a part of this now for the 3rd consecutive year. We're helping out Care Center Huntsville, our friends at the Good Shepherd Mission, also HISD Social Services. Did I say Care Center Huntsville already? And
I believe so.
Tomorrow's Promise Education Foundation and Safe House.
Safe House, yeah.
So food, non-perishable food items. Hey, we've had some people ask this year, too, Donnie, they were saying, well, what if we have some used items that are in really good shape? I said, yeah, bring them. We're going to donate that to the Safe House resale shop over there.
Yep. You know, it's really neat. It's not neat, but it is neat that things like this happen in the middle of the year, because everybody thinks about giving at the end of the year, you know, around Christmas and whatnot, and whatever you celebrate. But man, those kids and families, they need it year round.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you're exactly right. I know, as you said, you grew up here, Donnie. You started Gensel Heating and Air. Tell us a little bit more about the organization and just, you know, for you, how you got started. And you guys have been serving this area for quite some time now.
We've been in business since 2017. I was still with the fire department here in Huntsville, and just in 2023 decided to step out and do this full time. The name comes from my wife's. That's my wife's maiden name, and her dad had a business, and it wasn't the HVAC business, but he was an electrician, and I thought, man, that would be honoring. It would be pretty neat, you know, to carry that name on, and so anyway, it's here we are, and we've you know. We're not blowing and going, but we stay busy, and you know, and we're able to give back, and we can pay the bills. That's the most important part.
Well, I've been making a mistake then for years. I've been saying Donnie Gensel, man. Did you catch that?
People do that a lot.
What is it, man?
People do that a lot.
I should know. What is it? What is it, man?
My last name? Smith.
I should know that, man.
I can spell it out for you,
brother.
If you'd like me to.
Did you catch that? I've been saying that for the last 3 years, man. You're just so used to it, I guess, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Donnie Smith.
Well, people know who the boss is, so.
Guy's sitting here sponsoring this hour, and I can't even get his name right, man. Well, he's not here for me. He's here for the nonprofit.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Well, man, I appreciate what you guys do. This is a busy time of the year too. You talk about people's air conditioners, man, and you know, we were talking about Freon, man. Good night, you know, and maybe educate folks a little bit on that. You know, not the backstory of it, but just the reason. You know, some people are saying, well, man, this guy came out and he charged me an arm and a leg. Well, there's some things that you don't have any control of. Maybe educate the folks this morning on those older units.
Well, you know, number one, it's people have overhead, and there's a lot more overhead in a business than people that are not in business. They have no clue about. They don't understand how that works. But there is a ton of overhead. Insurance is crazy. Just the everyday. I mean, we're right here. Gas is fairly cheap now at $2.49, but it hadn't been that way for long.
They updated that overnight, brother. They knew we were going to be out here.
Yeah. So, you know, and parts are expensive. You know, we had just an up in prices for equipment and this new refrigerant that we're having to use.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, some people think that the earth is warming up, but you know, they're right, but it does that in cycles anyway. But anyway, nevertheless, here we are. So just the cost of just the cost of doing business is astronomical to begin with. So you know,
there's our friend Wade Thibodeau dropped by from the Walker County Press. He's on his way. He's got a meeting he's got to be at. But
he's probably got a picture to take.
Yeah, so he does great work, man. The Walker County Press is a great paper. So I told him to drop by and say hello this morning. He did. He's a good man.
But anyway, it's just things are expensive. Things are just expensive. You know, not only in the HVAC industry, but go in the grocery store and see how much groceries cost now.
Yeah.
It's just expensive these days.
Well, that's the big thing too. You know, you mentioned with that refrigerant with these older units. You know, I mean, some of that stuff you're lucky if you can get it for $100 a pound. It's a lot more than that. And so, if you got a leak in your coil and all those kind of things,
you're just throwing money out.
Can I ask you a question real quick? You're an AC dude, man. You're the expert at this stuff. Why is it, man, that I got a refrigerator that's 25 years old. That bad boy's still humming and purring. Now, I did have to take it apart the other day because it had quit cooling. I took that thing completely apart, like at the top, and I realized it was just completely froze over. Mm-hmm. So I let it sit overnight, put it all back together. It's been working beautifully. Mm-hmm. It hasn't refroze. Everything's been good. It's because I had it turned up to 9 all the way, and it's in the garage, so I'd assume the humidity and just never stops, right?
Never stops.
So here's my question, though, man. What is it? And it's probably because we're buying cheap AC units. This is the answer you're going to give me. But why is it that these coils, man, they get pinhole leaks in them, and after some of them 5 years, but yet here I am with the 25-year-old fridge just humming and a purring, man. What causes that? Just
not
bad
only air conditioning, but any appliance. Just think about. I guarantee you that maybe not your parents' refrigerator, but somebody's parents' refrigerator is still out there in the world humming and cooling.
Somebody's still got a legitimate ice box where they bring ice into.
Yeah, from 50 or 60 years ago. They just don't make things like they used to. They don't build houses like they used to. It's all about quantity and not quality anymore. So luckily, what we sell is Armstrong, and they're 100% American made, 12-year parts and labor warranty. With some of those systems even have what they call a unit replacement, which some of them are 5 and some of them are 10. We don't go in and just replace the compressor. We'll just change the whole unit out, or things like that. They really stand behind them, and we've been fortunate enough to come across them, and they do us right, and we wouldn't really be here if it wasn't for some of the perks that they have. So it's good stuff.
Well, it's good, man. I did want to ask one other, because a lot of folks ask about it. That's why I love having you, because I know a little bit, not enough, and I'm not going to say that phrase. I know it's enough to be dangerous. I can't stand that phrase, by the way, man. You ever get that every day?
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's why I quit my IT business after 14 years. I sold it.
You know what DIY stands for?
What is that?
Just enough to get in trouble.
Yeah, no joke. Yeah. Well, anyways, I know a little bit about some of these units, but I don't know. I can't service them or fix them. But I keep up with some of the trends. It seems like these mini splits are a big deal now. What are your thoughts on those things?
They have their place. They have so many different applications now that we can literally hide the inside part in between the ceiling joists. We can hide them between in between studs, so a stud cavity. We can hang the head on the wall. It's they have what they call a ceiling cassette that it's if you go into a grocery store, H-E-B or Kroger or something like that, they have a different type of diffuser where it blows the air out and then returns it back up in the middle. Those are becoming real popular in more open areas like that. But yeah, I mean they're nice, they're quiet, they're very efficient. They rate an air conditioner a seasonally energy efficiency rating is the SEER rating,
yep,
right?
Gotcha.
And that's how they rate how efficient an air conditioner is by. They set a temperature and then they take an average of that running year round. Well, they set that average on the air conditioner running wide open. So if it's ever able to slow down a little bit and gear down, is like I call it, then it's the energy efficiency rating goes up. The more it can go down, the higher that.
Just kind of like letting your foot off the gas pedal. You get better gas mileage.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Or setting the cruise. It's not that initial boom. Come on and shut off. And they've got them now where they call them inverter driven, where they slowly ramp up and down. They get to where they just almost run for free.
Oh, that's cool, man.
I always give people I like to give 3 different options, and no particular reason I picked out the GM products, but a Chevrolet, GMC, and a Cadillac, where your Chevrolet is just it's either off or on. You got your GMC, which is more of a 2-stage, and then your Cadillac is just that. I mean, it is nice and quiet. It ramps up and down.
Air ride.
It's just air ride. Setting the cruise, you never hear it. Super efficient. So, and of course, the more efficient, the more it costs, but the more you get out of that, the more return. The more savings you get every month pays that extra that you just spent. So it gives you your money back. So
well, that's awesome, man. Well, it is Donnie Smith, Gensel Heating and Air Conditioning. You can find them online, GenselHVAC.com. Am I saying that right, Gensel?
Yes, sir.
Some people say Gensel, but it's Gensel.
Yep.
So that's right, isn't it? I should know that. I should know this too.
Right.
I should know this too, Donnie Gensel, right?
Yes,
right. Visit their website online. It's GINSELHVAC.com. They are here today. and supporting these nonprofits, giving back to the local community. Before you go, Donnie, I know we talked a little bit at the beginning. Maybe there's some folks that are hopping on, joining us this morning that just tuned in. You know, it is important to give back. You grew up in this community. Just from your part as a business owner, why do you feel that it's so important just to make sure that we're all giving back today and every day, not just today?
Because it goes further than just a dollar. You know, we're in this fight together, you know, and we can make it as easy or hard as it can be. And I just feel like, you know, we've talked to several people about the rise in groceries, you know, alone. And I just feel like, man, if several people would have big gardens, several people would raise cattle, and we could just swap within each other like they used to do. You know, cool, how neat would that be? And it's just a fight together, and we can all get together and spread the heartache, you know, or spread the struggle, or we can try to take it on ourselves, and we know how that is. So,
good,
but
man.
it's just. You know, growing up, you know, there were several people that helped me in different things that I was involved in and wanted to be involved in, and there was no way I could do it without help. And so that meant a lot, you know. So I guess I feel like, well, now it's my turn.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, that's good, man. Well, you're a good dude. Appreciate all that you do in the community. You know, I got to know your wife through the HLI class a year ago, and I know y'all's family.
She's the boss.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, just wonderful, wonderful folks, man. And, you know, now you're getting to enjoy grandbabies and just, you know, just living the good life that the Lord has put before us. And, and we're so thankful to have you and your family. And thank you again. 3rd year, man, being out here supporting this. Thank you very much.
We look forward to number 4.
Yes, sir. So. We're already planning. Well, we know the date. It'll be the first Thursday of June.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to tell Zach here at HEB to plow up half this parking lot. We'll just put some cattle guards out here and call this a day, man. You know, put some cattle runs out here, put a couple guards here so they can't run off into the street.
There you go.
I think we'll be good, man.
I think they'll go for it.
Yeah, I'd be down for it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, come out here. We're going to be out here all day today until 7 o'clock tonight. It is the 3rd annual Rays of Hope donation drive-through fundraiser. It's been pretty quiet here so far. We've only had a couple of folks come by during that 7 a.m. hour, but the good news is if you come by, you know, there was a 50% chance that someone won jewelry a while ago. Well, guess what? They won. One of those did because only a couple of people came by. We'll start ramping up, but we need you to come out today. You'll see us here at the HEB parking lot. Bring canned foods, anything that is non-perishable, baby wipes and diapers. We'd love to bless Care Center with a whole truckload this year as we have in the past. So please come out, be a part of it, and we're excited. Thank you so much, Donnie, for being here, man. Appreciate it.
Enjoyed it. Yes, sir.
Visit them online. Again, that website, GinselHVAC.com. It's GINSELHVAC.com. We'll take a brief break, and we'll continue on this morning. It is Good Morning Huntsville, a special edition, starting off with Donnie. But we'll transition over to Pastor Jason Bay of First Baptist. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. More to come. It's your show here on Thankful Thursday. This is Good Morning Huntsville. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Since 2010, the Oak Ridge Disciple House has helped men break free from addiction, not with quick fixes, but lasting change through Jesus Christ. They've celebrated 167 graduates at Oak Ridge and 138 more at Interfaith with an 80% success rate. That's compared to just 5% in most secular programs. The fact is, Jesus works. And now, celebrating 15 years, they're building their 3rd house in Tennessee and just launched a women's program, Restoration Ranch in Texas. It's all for God's glory. And here's the heart of it. They never turn anyone away for lack of money. In fact, 95% of families receive scholarships. As one person put it, don't talk about it, be about it. Every penny counts. Donate today at oakridgedisciplehouse.com and help change a life forever. The Oak Ridge Disciple House. Online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Real recovery, real hope. The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
This is Jason Bay, the pastor at First Baptist Church, Huntsville, and you're listening to Spirit Radio, the spirit of Huntsville.
Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
All right, friends, back out as we continue on this morning. In 3, 2, 1.
All right.
All right. It's news you can use. No, not yet. Not yet. So, Jason Bay here with us, First Baptist Church, as we get rolling. Hey, brother, good morning. So a lot of great friends joining us this morning here on another edition of Good Morning Huntsville. We are live, by the way, out here at the HEB parking lot. But, Jason, good to see you. Thanks for relinquishing the seat there for a few moments for our friend Donnie
anytime.
from Gensel Heating and AC. How have you been, man? It's a nice morning.
Yeah, it is a nice morning. It's good to see a lot of people. Everything's starting to pick up here around Huntsville. Hopefully we'll see a lot of people swing by and donate. I know this is a great cause, and right here in the center of Huntsville here at HEB, so swing by and say hello to us, drop off some donations and maybe some cash.
Yeah, we've had a few cash donations already coming this morning. We're appreciative of that. By the way, if you come by $20 or more, you'll get a limited edition Rays of Hope T-shirt.
Yes,
and so we've got a couple of those to give away, and
entered into a drawing too, correct?
Yeah, get a drawing, and that's an hourly raffle, by the way. And somebody just came in with a very generous donation. They actually got 10 raffle tickets for this hour.
That's great.
So, come on by, be a part of this. It's so much fun, and we appreciate everybody. It's our third annual year doing this. It's a little bit different this year. A buddy of mine who helps out every year, he's at home resting. I said, do not come up here. He hasn't been feeling well. And so I'm thankful for you guys, Jason. Y'all came out and helped. Donnie actually helped get set up too.
Yeah.
And so it's been really cool.
Well, you just got to I brought my boys with me today, so just put them to work.
Yeah. Well, they did. They came out. Yeah, appreciate Jeremiah and Elijah. They helped out this morning and just awesome. You got such, I know you don't like me. You're very humble, but man, y'all just have such wonderful children, Jason. Y'all really do. They are so respectful, man.
Thank you very much. Yeah, they're a blessing. I appreciate that.
They didn't hear me say that because Jeremiah back there, say it louder.
Yeah, he's right by the generator.
So it's good though. It's a lot of fun being out here, and thank you for coming out. We had a lot of fun last year, and here we are again for the third year, man. It's great.
Yeah, it is great, and it's a busy time of the year. Right after graduation, we have one of our oldest daughter graduated from high school this year, so we've been running here and there and everywhere. But we finally get to take a little bit of a break, little breath, and it's good to be out here this morning, just fellowshipping with the people. They've got a lot of crowd out here right now, just
everybody visiting with one another.
Yeah, appreciate Samantha Havard's out here, by the way. Mayor Humphrey came out. He's always been so supportive of so much here in our community, and that's what I love about Huntsville. We have so many people that just want to be involved, that want to help out, Jason.
Absolutely, and we have some great nonprofit organizations in Huntsville that, and this time of the year, after, we always say after COVID, but it really did. It was a turning point for a lot of nonprofit organizations that depend on donations. People keeping a lot of money at home, and they needed to, and still haven't fully recovered from that. So our nonprofit organizations in Huntsville really need the support of the community, and this is just one way that we can help them out by helping their bottom line and providing some of the resources that they need. But I mean, I get the opportunity to serve on the Care Center of Huntsville, and I know the work that they do over there is just tremendous. And then I know the Good Shepherd Mission, the director there, Monty, he has done a great job there. He's got a great vision for and a lot of others. Name off some of the others.
There's 5 that we're going to be helping out this year. Again, it's Care Center Huntsville, which you already mentioned. Our friends at Safe House, the Good Shepherd Mission, Tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools, but particularly the Dolly Parton Imagination Library.
Oh, I love that.
And then also HISD Social Services.
Yes.
So, an opportunity for 5 people or 5 nonprofits. And
look at that.
Hey, let's make sure to get them a bag and a shirt too, if you don't mind. There's some folks coming through, and we'll get them a bag and a shirt, a swag bag. That's what we called it.
Yeah.
And so you can come by and grab some stuff. It's great. I love having people just supporting, coming out. And you know what I love about this every year, Jason? The first year we did it, it was all people that I knew, because it was the first. Now I'm seeing people come through here. I have no idea. I've never met them.
Yeah.
But the word is getting out, and I'm so thankful for that. That's what it's about.
Yeah, that is what it's about. And just a couple of things that you just mentioned. The HISD, that they help a lot of our students here in Huntsville. That there's a lot of our students that are housing insecure. That doesn't mean necessarily that they're homeless. It just means that they don't have a permanent house. They go from couch to couch maybe, or wherever. And so they help provide essentials for these students, like toothpaste and clothing and just the basics of life. And so I'm thankful that we have a school district that says, hey, we're not just here to educate the students, but we're also here to help them in their need. And that's one of the things that Huntsville ISD does, and we can help them. And a lot of the churches have come together to help that over the years.
Yeah, well, it's great. There's so much that you can get involved in and that you can do here in Huntsville, and that's why we just love being here. When Bridget and I had the opportunity to come back, a lot of people thought we were going to go back to Georgetown, and that was the initial plan.
Yeah,
thank goodness, Jason. You know why? Because Papa Brennan, they had a room ready for us. And it just so happened that some unfortunate circumstances happened to where we were able to move back into our house sooner. We didn't want to. I mean, honestly, it ended up being an extreme financial hardship. That wasn't the plan to move in. But you know what, man? And you know this, when you stay in faith, everything always works out. And I had an opportunity to talk to a young man the other day that was going through some pretty challenging things, and it was time for him to move on from a job. But he said, he goes, it's strange because I feel at peace about it.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I've seen, and this is what I love about how things work. And this is why I believe that it's so important that, some people say, well, you don't need to be involved in a church or whatever. It's true. You don't have to be in a church to know the Lord. But I'm going to tell you what, to grow in the Lord, you better be around a group of believers, because they're going to carry you through some tough situations. You always talk about community.
Yep.
This young man has gotten involved in the church. He has been around many folks at our church, and I told him, I said, I've seen a transformation, whether you've seen it or not. I've seen a transformation in your life. And I said, and God is opening up doors that you never thought possible.
Yeah.
Because if I would have talked to this person a few years ago, they probably wouldn't have said that, well, hey, I'm just trusting the Lord and going out in faith. Now they're saying, you know what? I know that He's going to provide.
Amen. That's the way we have to live by faith. And you have shown that in your life. And I'm thankful that God brought you back to Huntsville, and that we had the opportunity to build our relationship and serve alongside one another, because it's been a blessing. How long have you been at First Baptist now?
Man, going over, is it 2 years?
It's getting close, I think.
Yeah, October's 2 years. I thought last October was 2 years, and Molly, she goes, no, it's been a year.
It may have felt like 2 years.
But, it's neat. I was telling somebody the other day, Jason, I said, I never imagined. I thought maybe one day, like when I'm 60 or 70, that would be, and I don't mean it like in a bad way, but I thought, when I'm 60 or 70, maybe I'll, really serve in the ministry. But here's the deal. We all, as believers, we all serve in the ministry.
All serve, yes.
We
Absolutely.
all do.
God didn't call us to just sit and soak. He called us to be active, and I think I always tell people if that was the case, if we just got saved and that was it, there'd just be a golden escalator to heaven right after you came to the altar.
When you said the word escalator, I'm working double duty over it. When I said the word escalator, Jason, you know what I thought of immediately? Montgomery Ward. That was the first escalator that I ever rode on, man, was the Montgomery Ward escalator. Now,
that was big time, wasn't it?
They're probably monitoring the audio feed, but something happened many years ago, and I'm not proud of this, but I'm going to admit it publicly. The statute of limitations is over.
You always go back to that, Rob.
Okay.
You got many stories. I'm waiting for them all to come out.
All right, so years ago when I was little, my sister used to always take me to the shopping mall. Now, I won't say which mall.
Okay.
But and malls are non-existent.
Yeah, really.
The only one left is Mall of the American. Right. Maybe the Woodlands Mall. That's about it. Yeah. West Hill Mall is now TDCJ Mall.
Yeah, right.
But here's the deal, Jason. Many, many moons ago, I always liked to keep pebbles and rocks in my pocket. And for some moronic reason, and you know how kids are, you just do things that, like my daughter, I'm like, Raylan, why are you doing that? You've been you've got to experience this full blown.
Absolutely.
Well, for some reason, I enjoyed keeping rocks in my pocket, and I thought it'd be a good idea to just take a handful of them and throw them in the escalator.
Oh, my gosh.
I have no idea why. I just decided I'd throw a couple, and I said a handful. It was a couple little pebbles, all right?
You wanted to see what it was going to do, and I want to hear what it did.
I wanted to see them, like, bounce, when they just keep rolling and bouncing. Well, it did. It rolled and bounced, and I thought, okay, that's great. And my sister and I walked into a little store, and then we walked in. Came back, about 20 minutes later, and that thing was
shut down.
It was shut down, and there were cones, and people were walking up and down it. And so I guess the rocks jammed the escalator.
Yeah. So that's what happens.
But again, statute of limitations way over on that. Then one other story that you're going to really enjoy, and I'm saying this because we all have a story, right?
Yeah, we all have a story.
And we all have, some of us, we all have dumb stories. This is a dumb story. I decided that it would be cool when I was in, was it maybe 7th grade? I was in junior high to start the rock club on the school bus. The rock club. Now, do you want to take any idea of what the rock club entails?
I can only imagine.
Well, my brother had taught me, I always liked electronics, and I had this little wooden box, and I had wired up a speaker with a grill over it, and that was my pencil box in junior high. And then I kept a Walkman in there. And so my idea was the teachers, they couldn't tell me to not have that because it was my pencil box, because we were required to have a pencil box. So I invented a music. This was before all this stuff was popular, I guess, but it was a music box. It was a Bluetooth speaker, right?
All right.
This was back in junior high, before Bluetooth and all that. But it had a little headphone jack, and I plugged it into the Walkman, and so I'd walk around school jamming, to the radio or cassette tapes. Well, I decided, man, this thing really holds rocks really nice. You can put a lot of rocks in this box. And so we started collecting rocks, and then this dumb idea came over my head man, it'd be kind of neat to throw these out the bus window while we're going down the road. And so the initiation for the rock club was you had to get rocks and you had to throw them out of the window. If you could do that, then you could be a member of the rock club.
Initiation.
Well, the rock club grew to about 20 members. No fees. And the idea was never to throw it at people or moving cars. It was just to throw them out the window, and because we drove through a lot of farmland.
Yeah.
Again, kids, why do you think that's something that's fun? Well, long story short is the club grew to 20 people, and there were some rowdy ones in there. One time there was a poor guy doing construction work. He's in a yellow vest. They threw a rock at him.
Oh, my God.
I said, no, that's not part of the rock club. Now, here's where it got worse, though, Jason. We're going down the road, and all of a sudden, this young man that was in the club, the rock club, he took 3 rocks out of his box that he had, because they started putting them in their pencil boxes. I didn't have a cool one like me. Took 3 of them out, threw it out the window, hit a car going down there. And this is dangerous.
No, really.
The guy's front window and side window completely shattered. He got behind the bus and was about to run the bus off the road. When the bus stopped, he stormed onto the bus and started yelling, "Who did this?" Well, it turns out it was a friend of mine at the time that was part of the rock club that did it. I didn't get in trouble. He did because he's the one that threw him, but I did get secondary trouble for starting the rock club.
Rock club.
That was the end of the rock club.
The rock club was disbanded. I could imagine that guy.
What do you? And my dad grounded me, man. I thought that was the end of me. Every kid just does dumb things that you just don't. Why would you think it's a good idea to throw rocks out of a moving school bus?
See what it's going to do.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning of your innovative nature.
To see what it's going to do.
Now Rob's coming up with all kind of great ideas. He invented the Bluetooth speaker before there was a Bluetooth.
Well, I bring this up, Jason, because is there any Jason Bay stories that you can tell?
Oh man, I'm sure I could. I can't. We used to. This is bad, but back in the day we used to.
All right, we're going a 10-second delay. Just
okay. So me and my friends, we lived in Cypress, but we would come up here on the weekends and for holidays, and to visit my grandparents up here in Walker County off 1791. And we would take this present, we'd wrap it up, empty box. We'd wrap it right around Christmas time. We'd wrap it up, and we'd tie a fishing line onto it and set it beside the road. And then we'd wait for somebody to come stop. They'd see that present on the side of the road. They'd pull over. They'd stop. And then as soon as they're about to go down and grab it, we would pull it.
Now, did your parents find out about this?
They did, but they just kind of laughed along with us.
What was on the fishing line? What was it?
The present. It was right around Christmas time.
Was there anything on it? In it, or is it just a box?
No, just the empty box that was dressed up that looked like a present. Like somebody had been driving down the road and lost that present, and so it was sitting there beside the road. So they would stop, and when it wasn't Christmas, we would do it with a purse. We'd take a purse and put it there side of the road, and somebody would think that somebody lost their purse, and they'd pull over there, and then we'd pull it, and then they'd hear some kids giggling over in the bushes.
So y'all were fishing for package thieves before that was a thing.
Yeah,
See,
right.
See, this is great, man. This is really good. So
yeah, that's what happens when you have way too much time on your hands in the summers or in the holiday season. So keep your kids busy.
See, I figured you'd probably be the guy that would I don't know why, well, you don't seem like this guy, but you never know. I thought you may be the guy on, was it Billy Madison with the flaming bag that you put on the front porch? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
And then you go and then you knock on the back door and then they have to run through the house. Never did that.
No,
right?
that wasn't me. My dad kept me pretty good in line.
Oh, it's good stuff. Well, there you go. Jason doing it this morning here on Good Morning Huntsville.
Yeah, that's right.
You can find him. He's the pastor of a church about 2 hours outside of town here.
Yeah, that's right. I think the statute of limitations has ran out on that, so I can tell that today.
Yeah. Well, hey, come on out here again. A lot of fun. Big thank you, as always, to First Baptist. They're our 8 a.m. sponsor, but also our Thursday Foundation sponsor. Jason, I know we talked earlier. We're having some fun and just cutting up, but, this community has been so good. And you've been here pretty much your whole life, too. You've seen the good in Huntsville and how it's grown, and the community continues to grow. I want to give a big thanks to Zach at HEB. We're going to have hot dogs out here, by the way, at 11 to 1.
That's wonderful.
I bought a $30 grill to cook them on.
I saw that. Brand new, man.
$35.
Dang.
Not bad. Gas grill.
Dang.
So we're going to be cooking them later, so come on out, be a part of it. But it's a really good day to come out, Jason. It's nice out here today.
It's very nice, and everything that we collect here is going to help these nonprofits. So please come on out. Doesn't matter what church you're a part of or not a part of. Just come and help. If all the community, the good thing about a community is when a community comes together, it can do a whole lot of good. And all we're trying to do here today is help spread some good around this area. So we definitely want you to stop by and just say hi or just swing by. And you don't even have to get out of your car. You can just drive through. And if you want to just hand a check or cash or some groceries or whatever you want to donate out the window, we have some people that will come and take it from you, and you'll be blessed for it. I know you will. Yeah, come on out and be a part. We're going to take a brief break. We've been rolling this morning. A lot of friends were here. Jamie Salas from Osprey Storage was helping us out, too. We appreciate her. Samantha's here, Havard, and Russell Humphrey, our mayor. Just wonderful folks here helping out on this third annual Rays of Hope. We'll take a brief break. We'll continue on as we continue here from HEB. Stay with us. More to come. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
All right, well, back at as we continue on. Check this out. We have a guest with us. Look who it is.
Hi.
Samantha H. in town. Is it Samantha Harvard? How many people say Samantha Harvard?
Oh, all the time.
Every time?
Yes.
I think when I first met you, I thought of that. I was like, Yale, Harvard. Okay, cool ass name.
Sometimes when I answer the phone, if it's someone I don't want to talk to and they say Harvard, I say, no, she's not here.
Yeah.
She's not.
I get angry when they call and they're like, Mrs. Hip, because do you know my real first name? It's Robin.
Oh.
Robin. So they go, oh, Mrs. Hip. And I said, if you guys have that much time to spam me, can you at least look where it says male or female and get that right, please?
Yeah.
So there's only a few select people that call me Robin. I had to quit. My sister started calling me Rob, and that's where the name stuck when I was
younger. I was
going
to say, you just told that to a lot of people that now can call you Robin.
Yeah, they called me. There was a neighbor down the street, Mr. Thomason. He would call it like the Robin the bird. He would call me. He would say, tweet, tweet, Robin Redbreast coming down the street. And I'm like, thank you.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he would say that to me.
That's why you have such a good personality.
Yeah.
It was very character building.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Samantha Harvard is here with us this morning. Samantha, you have been so involved in Huntsville over the years, working with so many different nonprofits. I know now, though, slowing down just a little bit because you got a little one and another one on the way.
Yes.
6 months down and 3 to go.
Yep, we're getting there. Yes, I guess being from Huntsville, you just naturally get involved in stuff. And then as I've decided to stay and we've kind of built our family and our life here, there's so many opportunities to get involved. Thanks to people like you that do stuff like this that I don't like to pass things up.
Y'all make it easy. I just show up and then I just get to talk to you.
Well, that's how I feel. When I messaged you yesterday, I was like, oh, perfect. When can we come? And you're like, whenever.
Whenever.
I'm like,
come
okay,
on.
we'll be there. Yeah, so we had I've had the opportunity to kind of be a parts of a few different things, and I think this one's so neat specifically because it reaches all the organizations in Huntsville. I was actually on the phone with my grandma driving up here, and she was like, now what is it? And I was like, well, it reaches multiple organizations. And she's like, oh, that's cool. So,
it's fun.
Thanks for letting us be a part of it.
Y'all been out here every year, you know. I don't know if I've interviewed you before, though.
I don't think so.
I've interviewed you on the show.
It's a little toasty for me to hang out around here.
So luckily today, though, it's nice this morning. Yeah. The rain got out. Did y'all have some, I had a neighbor out there in Brookview. They had some flooding going on. Were y'all okay?
Yeah, we didn't have any flooding. We had a lot of rain, but no flooding, at least not that I've noticed.
They're like on some back far corner over there. Oh. She messaged me. She's like, we've had some flooding coming in last night. There was a lot of rain. That storm just stalled, and are y'all still going to do the event? I said, yes, it's going to be great tomorrow, so come out.
I know, we have an event this evening, and yesterday evening, the same time, it was that awful rain, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I looked, and I was like, oh, it'll be fine. It's Texas.
Well, Samantha, you've had the privilege of growing up here. Went to AOA, correct?
Yes.
And went to Alpha Omega, wonderful school, by the way, and you got to be a part of that. What have you seen in Huntsville over, these years that you've been here, and just how much has this community meant to you? I know you've highlighted a little bit, but maybe extend on that a little bit.
So I kind of to the joking side of it, when I was in high school, I could not get out of this town fast enough was my plan. I was like applying to every out-of-state college I could apply to, and my mom jokes that she was packing my bags as I was applying because I was gonna go, and then life just kind of happened, and I was like, well, Sam doesn't seem so bad, and my mom was like, well, you're not gonna live at home. And so I started kind of life at Sam Houston and got to see a totally different side of Huntsville, which was really neat. And then when I was graduating, I was like, oh yeah, I'm moving. And that my senior year at Sam, I just kind of started to really notice things in Huntsville that when I would travel outside of Huntsville, you don't get. Mm-hmm. And so I joked that, if Huntsville got a Starbucks, a Hobby Lobby, and a Chick-fil-A, and a Target, I never would have to leave. And by my senior year of college, they had all of those.
See, I wish you would have said Kohl's too, though. That's the only thing we're missing.
Oh, yeah. Conroe's close enough. You can run and shop there, and then we don't have Kohl's here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I joked that was kind of the deal. And so my senior year, we had all of it. And I was like, well, now I don't have to leave. And so it was great. I love staying here. But some of the things that I just really have grown to, and I guess my adult life in Huntsville, I love that we have the resources. Mm-hmm. We have this really big, nice HEB now, and we have a really great, thriving university, and we have other job opportunities that people can create careers in and things of that nature, but also that small town feel. I can go walk around the square and almost know everybody I run into, and if I don't know them, I can at least say hi.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, when you go in, I always talk about HEB, that's where we typically grocery shop, but even the workers at HEB, Jeremy knows everybody, and he talks to everybody, and I don't think you get that in other towns. And so while I am a big proponent of growth in Huntsville, I think it's essential. I love that Huntsville roots kind of stay the same, and I think that as long as people coming here to grow understand that, and I think they do. I think that's a pretty upfront thing when you meet people that are coming here. They're like, I just love how friendly everyone is, and I love how everyone gets to know everyone. That's probably my favorite thing about Huntsville, and the way this town can pull together in 5 seconds when they need to for anybody to rally around someone, whether it's in prayer or donation or whatever, is really neat as well.
Well, your family's been so good to so many people here in town. I've enjoyed your family. Some of the first people I talked to when I came here, because they were so just wanting to help and wanting to see people be successful. And got to know your dad, obviously the mayor here, and carrying on such a great job that Mayor Broniger did. I only got to know him. I didn't know anybody before him because I was only here then. But your dad has just been so phenomenal too, and being involved. And I think it's important that people know that, hey, we need to get out, we need to be involved, and we need to support as many nonprofits, as many organizations as possible that we can. So it's your dad's probably busy. I was going to have him hop on, but it's all right.
he can come.
It's all.
Tell her.
Well, he's already halfway
He's
over
failing.
there. That's all right. It's okay.
He knew what he was supposed to do.
Did you ride up here with him?
No.
Okay.
But we have to go buy a cooler. Speaking of being involved in stuff, we have to go get a cooler to donate to the Casa Golf Tournament for this weekend.
Yeah, that's happening. Mud Bugs and Mulligans.
Yes,
so
I'm so excited.
And you're still involved with Casa?
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
See, that's where I remember the first ever chamber event that I went to. You were there, and it was the Christmas in July, and it was at the First National Bank building when you guys were over when they were over there, and you were you were volunteering, and we went in. It was an after hours event. No, it was in person because I bought an ornament there.
Yes. So that was Christmas in July. The very first ever Christmas in July bingo was my introduction to Casa. Lisa Branch actually was she was on the board, and she was chairing that organization, and her and I always went to this event in another town called Purse Bingo, and it was before Huntsville had one, and we just loved the idea of it. And she was like, I would love to do something similar but different in Huntsville, and she was like, let's do one for Casa. And so that was actually how I got introduced to Casa, was getting to be a part of that, founding that event and growing it. And it is insane how much it's grown. It's so neat.
There's other organizations here in town, and Casa's we have Casa on once a month. We highlight the great things that, and I say that's an organization. Laura was with me earlier this week, Samantha, and I said, I wish y'all didn't have to exist. I really do. But the reality is there are tough situations that children are going through, and they need a voice. Casa's doing a phenomenal job with that. But then I think of other organizations. Someone had approached me whenever we had this idea 3 years ago to do we want to do Rays of Hope because we wanted something in the middle of the year. Because Christmas, everybody's all, hey, let's give, and everybody's cheerful. Well, let's make it a little cheerful in June whenever it's hot and muggy outside.
Yes.
And so we decided to partner up with many organizations. One of them that really wasn't getting a lot of, I don't want to say fanfare because their banquets are huge, but just one that's not really known about in Huntsville unless you're donating and involved is the Care Center. And got to know Jackie Barham over there now. She's the director, been there for going on almost 3 years now. But that organization has been such a blessing to so many families. And what I love about that organization is, they're helping families that are in the middle of, hey, I just found out I'm pregnant, all the way through the process of, they encourage you to keep the baby, obviously. That's their stance is pro-life. They encourage. They don't tell people, but they said, look, we think this is the best. This is what you need to do. And they'll guide them through that. And they'll help people realize that, you know what, you can do this. It's going to be okay. It's faith-based. They have Bible study programs. But that organization is one that we wanted to benefit when we first started this, and now for the third year doing that. And so folks have diapers, baby wipes, all that fun stuff that you're going to get to be involved with again, right? Are you looking forward to it?
Oh, yes, I know. I got chills hearing you say that because before it was the Care Center, it was the Pregnancy Care Center, and it was kind of one of those, like, I knew what they did, but I didn't really know anything else about them. And I remember it was like 2 or 3 months after I had our daughter, Justin and I were talking one night, and the Care Center had posted something, and I wish I could remember what it was, but it was a story, testimony post essentially, and it was to the tune of essentially a single mom. And if you've been in the 3 month time span with a newborn, I just looked at Justin and I said, I literally cannot imagine doing this alone. I cannot imagine doing this without, we planned as much as we could and kind of had our life set up the way we wanted to have it set up. And luckily that worked out for us. But it was just one of those things. It was like this aha moment. And so I feel like in that moment, the care center finally took this like place in my heart, and I actually have shared with my husband that I hope in the coming years we're able to get it more involved with them and understand what they do more, just because I do think it's one of those resources that is overlooked by the outside, but someone that utilizes it really understands it. And so I think going through motherhood for me kind of made me realize what they do. And I was at something the other day that did, they do baby showers for the care center, and I was getting stuff for that. And it was just, I was thinking, like at one baby shower, you need all this stuff. So I can't imagine the needs that they have for all the people they're able to help. But I love what they do. And I love, one of the things that I think is really neat is the parenting classes that they offer. And they're able to get like care center money, and then they can go in and buy things for their family. And I think that's so cool. I was reading about that the other day.
Yeah, it's neat. We want to help them. No baby items yet, so please come by. The reason we do this at HEB, I was at the radio station. We used to do a similar event. It actually started in Bryan College Station 40 years ago, the radio mash. And K-Sam does a great job with that. That actually started, though, 40 years ago in Bryan College Station, the mash did. And in the industry, a lot of people kind of say, hey, that's a great idea. Let's kind of do that and figure out ways that we can continue it on. And that was a spur idea for me to do this during the summer month. But it always used to happen over at the McKenzie's parking lot. And I love Lisa and Kevin. Great place, great barbecue. But I said, let's make this more convenient for people, because here's your grocery store. And so we moved MASH. That was an idea I had. Vicki was here at the time, and she was so generous and allowed us. She said, yeah, come on in and do that. And so HEB became really involved in that. They want to give back and help out. And so we moved it here, and that's what makes it so convenient. You can literally drive over to HEB, because we're already here, go in, go buy some stuff, and come out. We're looking for non-perishable food items, but we need some baby. We've only had a few things dropped off so far, so we would love for you to come out, be a part of it. By the way, a $20 cash donation or more will get you into our hourly raffles. We're giving away jewelry and some other gifts every hour that you come by, so make sure that you're a part of it.
And y'all created the perfect little drive-through lane, so you don't even have to get out of your car, and there's people here to help you.
And y'all showed up to help, and J.B. Salas is here from Osprey Storage, and normally I've got a buddy that helps. He's sick, and I told him, I said, please do not come. Get well. You need to get well, man. And so it's been kind of a different feeling for me, because normally I'm out moving around and talking to people. But it's been fun. And thank you and your dad for coming by already. And Samantha, it's just so important that people come today and give. Care Center Huntsville, looking for diapers, baby wipes, brand new, please. No use. All right, on that. But any items that you have, too, if you do have gently used items, we're going to donate anything like that over to Safe House. Also, food will go to Safe House and Good Shepherd Mission. We're going to bless them. HISD Social Services, we'd love to give them some cash and gift cards to help the kids out during the summer. They're always looking for that. And then also... Tomorrow's Promise, the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. We get those books. We get 2 a month, and it's well over $30,000 a year now that they have to spend on the shipping of those books. The kids don't pay for nothing, but the Educational Foundation, which is a nonprofit, in the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. So we wanted to bless them as well.
We get those too.
Yeah.
Preston gets them.
Aren't
she
they
loves
awesome?
them. Yeah. My mom had told me about it way early on, and I had forgotten about it, and then I finally looked into it and set it up, and that is so neat. That whole idea. Preston's a big book fan anyway, but it's so cool because she gets to go get mail and it has her name on it and she loves it. So yeah, I love that y'all give to them as well.
Yeah, so come out, be a part. I wanted to give a shout out to our friend Nathan Smith joining us from Ink Slingers. He did our shirts for us this year, and I wanted, I kind of bounce around. I do a lot with Advantage Specialties, and I wanted to bless Nathan and his family with a little bit of business. And, just keep Nathan and their family in your prayers. They're going through some medical things right now. And I just want to say I've really enjoyed getting to know him over really the last couple of months, because he's on the show right now watching. But just a great family, and that's what this community is about, is lifting each other in times of need. And I know right now they need prayers, and so just pray for their family. They're wonderful folks.
They've been printing shirts for a long time. I remember in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember me, but we used to go in there with our little alpha draw-up designs and be like, "Can you make this in a shirt?"
They're like, "Those kids are here again."
Who are these children? Where are your parents? But he's been printing shirts forever. He printed all of our volleyball shirts and all of that. So.
Awesome. Well, Samantha, thank you for being here. Grab a shirt too, by the way,
cool.
y'all, and grab a couple of them. Your dad has always been so supportive of this event, and to come by, be a part. Samantha's been supportive too, so come on out, be a part of it today. The items are scarce right now, so let's fill these tables up And we've got things to give you. We're giving you swag bags. Every person that drives through gets a cool little swag bag.
I know that guy that drove through earlier, I was like, oh, I can help you. And they gave me the bag to give him. I was like, wow, this is a nice little exchange. He donated, and y'all have gifts
we
for
give
him.
That. And again, $20 or more cash donation. You can also do Cash App or Venmo or through our website. That'll get you a T-shirt, which is limited edition. We only have 100 of them, and we've already probably given out about 12 of them. So we're going to run out of those pretty quick. So come by. And if you've been to the previous two, do us a favor and bring both your shirts if you have them. I know a couple that's going to come later, and they said, well, I'm going to wear the first one. He's going to wear the second one. So that's going to be kind of fun.
Yeah, that will be fun. Cool.
So
well, thank you for having me. Thank you for doing this.
Hey,
yes.
Are y'all still doing downtown too? Are you still working on things? I know
yes.
you. Awesome. Plug the Vintage real quick.
Yes. So I have a event center downtown. It's called the Vintage at Downtown Huntsville. It's a 120-year-old building that my dad probably did not want to take on as a construction project, but we did, and it has a 5-foot chandelier. That's probably my favorite thing about it, but we've rented it for everything for high school reunions, birthday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, all kinds of things, and anything that has to do with downtown Huntsville I'm a fan of. So yeah. Follow us on Facebook. Donnie, that was sitting here before I sat down, he does our air conditioning work, and you can imagine working on the air conditioner of a 120-year-old building is a special treat. And so I feel like we've talked a lot, but he's getting it going for us. So anyways, yeah,
perfect.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, you bet. All right. We're going to take a break. We'll continue the show on this morning, a special edition of Good Morning Huntsville. Come out. Rick Boning's here, Tomorrow's Promise. One of the dumplings. He's one of the 4 here on Good Morning Huntsville, joining us today, and appreciate him as well. We'll take a brief break. See you at HEB. Stay with us. Thank you, Samantha. We'll be back in a moment.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life. Since 2010, the Oak Ridge Disciple House has helped men break free from addiction, not with quick fixes, but lasting change through Jesus Christ. They've celebrated 167 graduates at Oak Ridge and 138 more at Interfaith with an 80% success rate. That's compared to just 5% in most secular programs. The fact is, Jesus works. And now, celebrating 15 years, they're building their third house in Tennessee and just launched a women's program, Restoration Ranch in Texas. It's all for God's glory. And here's the heart of it. They never turn anyone away for lack of money. In fact, 95% of families receive scholarships. As one person put it, don't talk about it, be about it. Every penny counts. Donate today at oakridgedisciplehouse.com and help change a life forever. The Oak Ridge Disciple House. Online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Real recovery, real hope. This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the Spirit of Huntsville. Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today. Braylon, say, this is Spirit Radio.
This is Spirit Radio.
Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit 94.3.
All right, back at it as we continue on. Been a fun morning here on this special edition of Good Morning Huntsville, as always on a Thursday, brought to you by FBC, a Harbor of Hope here in Huntsville. You know, I do the announcements on Sundays, Jason, and I always say a Harbor of Hope, and I don't ever want people for this to kind of gloss over. We say hope because we believe that hope really comes and only comes from Jesus Christ. And so we encourage you, come out on Sunday, be a part of the service. It's been a great last few weeks, especially. You know, we had some guests come on. Don Jackson preached for Graduation Sunday, had Jeremy Stallnecker for Memorial Day, and then
that was nice.
You started the new Hebrews series.
Yeah, we're going to be in Hebrews for the summer, and every now and then, I like to preach on different topics that we come across, but I also like to take books of the Bible and go through them when it's appropriate. And this summer we're going to do that. We're going through the book of Hebrews, and there's so much in that book that I just really enjoy. I believe if anybody comes and goes through that book with us, they'll learn something that they didn't know before. So I'm excited about doing it, and I know that we'll all be blessed for hearing the Word of God.
We will. Well, I got to shift gears because...
Yes, there we go.
Now, coming at you live from the HEB parking lot. What is that? What is that? It's 11th Street? Off 11th Street. It's time for news you can use with the Jason Bay.
Thank you, Rob, for that beautiful introduction.
You're like, please stop those introductions.
No, they're great. I have a few things we can talk about this morning that I've collected over the past week or so. But first of all, this weekend, Saturday, is no fishing license, no problem. So today, the Saturday this weekend is Texas Free Fishing Day. This weekend. So I don't know. Do you like to fish, Rob?
Yeah. Is this the first time they've ever done this?
I don't know if they've done this before or if this is something new, but yeah, it's Free Fishing Day this Saturday, and that's when fishing enthusiasts and beginners alike can bring their poles and bait hooks to public waterways with no license required. This annual event is held every first Saturday in June in Texas as an initiative to get people outdoors and experiencing nature and wildlife according to Texas Parks and Wildlife.
It kind of goes along with the guy that tried to sell me the car in high school. No credit, don't sweat it. So, no license, no problem.
Do you like to fish?
I have, I do, but I haven't went in a long, long time, Jason.
Yeah.
I really do. I haven't went in probably 15 years, man, but I miss doing it.
I haven't gone in probably over 15 years. I like fishing, but I'm not any good at it, and so it kind of gets boring for me if you're not like catching. I know they call it fishing for a reason. They don't call it catching, and I've experienced that throughout my life.
Well, I know too. You're such a huge fan of camping. It's your favorite thing to do, right?
Not quite. Although our youth are gone this week, they're camping, but none of my kids went. If that tells you anything, they're camping in Garner State Park.
Yeah, I had no idea that they did this. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so if you like to fish, go out on Saturday and fish in some public waterway, and you don't have to spend the money to get your license. Another thing that was popular for a while is, and it's kind of become a fad, is these cold plunges. You've heard of those?
No.
Like athletes will get into a ice cold tub.
Oh, like the Cairo thing.
Yeah. So, you get into these. So they've done a study on this, and they said cold plunges are very popular, but new study shows that they may interfere with muscle recovery and growth. This is a article out of the Washington Post, and it is saying that these ice baths and cold plunges that a lot of people will cling to as far as recovery from different things are maybe not as good for you as they once thought. So think twice about jumping into an ice tub, Rob.
Yeah, no, thank you. I haven't been a fan anyways. One time we had the power out at the house for like 3 days from that hurricane last year.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that was fun.
You took an ice bath?
Yes, and I said, this is horrible, because I had to take a shower. I held on for like 2 days, and I was like, I got to take a shower, and it wasn't fun. And, I'm looking up, and there's this tree next door that's waving at me. I'm like, buddy, we don't need act 2 of that, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
One fell in my front yard the other day, and I was like, no, please.
Yeah, for y'all that don't know, Rob's house was intruded upon by a tree when was that? Was that a year ago?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like right. What was it? The beginning of June when that hurricane came through.
Yeah, and it fell right on his roof, busted a hole into the roof, and caused all kind of damage.
We've been praying, Jason, and just believing in the Lord. I said, Bridget, we really need to focus on having a holy house, and that tree came through, brother.
Excellent, Rob. Nothing like a good dad joke to start off the morning. While we're doing news you can use, we just want to encourage you to stop by, see us here here at the HEB parking lot and help us out. We'd love to see you. Help us raise money for our nonprofits in our community.
Yeah, please. All sorts of items we're looking for, and it's pretty slim right now, but we've had a few things come in, Jason.
That's great. Yeah, and the few people that have stopped by have given some substantial donations, so that's always nice. But every little bit helps. So if we all come together and help our nonprofits, it goes a long way. All right, here's another article in Reader's Digest. I know love the Reader's Digest. Do you shop at Aldi?
Bridget, yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah. HEB, we're here at HEB, and we want to shout out to them. But you ever wondered why in Aldi the people that ring up your stuff, the cashiers, they're always seated? You ever notice that?
Yes.
Like the only place in town where the people that are ringing out, the cashiers, are seated in a chair.
Yeah, and nice chairs too, comfortable chairs.
Yeah, and the reason why that is, the Reader's Digest has an old article, but they've proven that first of all, it's more comfortable for the people that are doing the work. Number 2, they can ring up stuff faster. They've proven that they can ring up stuff faster in that seated position. It actually is more efficient for them to be seated.
Huh.
But probably the most important reason is because Aldi is a Germany company, and according to the Germany labor unions over there, they require that the cashiers be offered a chair. So that's why you see that happening in the Aldi cashiers. So that's pretty interesting.
Everyone there is required to sit. So you go through an assembly line. Hey, stand up. I can't. We're going to get in trouble.
Yeah, right. I thought this was an interesting article that I found. And this new U.S. News and World Report lists the 10 best places to live. And they were talking about, in particularly, suburbs. And 2 Houston suburbs were named among the 10 best places to live in the U.S. News and World Report. Then let me get to the list really quick. The 16th in the top 100 was Sugarland. But in the top 10, the number 3rd nationwide place to live was Pearland. You ever been to Pearland? You know anybody from there?
No, know of it, but I never went through it.
Yeah, we passed through there on our way to Galveston and see but they say that they've done a lot to improve that place. It's one of the safest places to live. The household income is $115,000.
Georgetown make that list? My hometown's usually in those type of lists. Yeah.
It's listing. This is out of Houston, so it's listing the Houston area, Sugarland. Gotcha. The Woodlands was number 44. Katie's number 45. Missouri City 67. Spring 73. So
Huntsville should be number 1. I'm going to call the author of that thing.
Yeah, well, we're not really a suburb of Houston unless you got a long drive there.
You know what, though? I say this nicely. If you come across this show and you're somebody that said, man, that community's so great, keep us off of those number 1 lists, though. Because, man, that's when the secret – that happened to Georgetown and the floodgates opened. So you keep us off those lists, okay? We know that we're number 1.
You ever drive – this is out of Houston Chronicle. You ever drive through Houston, and I may just be an idiot, but you drive through Houston, and when they have the roads like in Houston, they're grooved. Have you ever noticed that? They're like have all these little lines in them, and you're trying to go, and it's yeah. Does it that? Have you ever noticed that?
Like on the sides or in the middle?
No, in the middle. They're grooved. Their concrete is grooved in the direction you're going. And so, but I didn't know that they actually do that on purpose. And the reason they do that on purpose, if you're ever driving through Houston and you notice the roads are grooved, the reason they do that is they usually do it in areas where water gets on the road pretty heavily. And it helps with the traction of the tires to stay on the road and in your lane. So they kind of go along with the road to try to keep you in the lane and keep you from hydroplaning. They don't do it on asphalt because asphalt, they said, has better friction capabilities than wet concrete. So if you go through Houston or different places, and a lot of the roads maybe some of the roads that they're building out here will have those grooves in them, and that's the reason why they put the grooves in there, is to keep to provide better traction for your tires when you're driving. So I thought that was an interesting article.
Well, since we're on this real quick, Jason, can I show you this?
Yeah, show it to me.
I get nervous sometimes because you never know what people are going to say on YouTube, so I'm hoping that there's no language on here. This is the musical highway. Have you ever heard of this? In California. Have you heard of this?
No, I haven't heard of it.
All right, I'm going to go over the musical road
wait, hold on one second here. Hold on.
California.
I still got our music going.
Yeah, we got our news you can use.
All right, check this out.
At 55 miles an hour, that's the speed limit. I've done it slower, like at 35, and it doesn't work as well, but I think it sounds better at 55 miles an hour. So I'm going to set my cruise control for 55, and hopefully the engine noise will be quiet by the time I get into it. Alright, we're about 55.
Got to go 55 for it to work.
So let's see how this sounds. We're about a tenth of a mile from it.
It's building up the anticipation
There it
station.
is, about 55 miles an hour.
This is the musical highway, by the way.
Musical road in Lancaster, California.
It's from the grooves. Your tires.
Yeah, I hear that. What song is it though?
There it is.
Yeah, there you go.
There was one that played like
going to good use.
There was one that played like it was like dun 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 dun. There was another one that's now shut down. Isn't that cool though?
That is. That's
How'd they engineer that?
I don't know. Somebody smarter than me, but I always wondered why the grooves were there. Now I know that, but if I probably would have just used my thinking, my mind, I probably could have figured it out.
Well, it's grooves you can use.
Grooves you can use, yes. From the Austin American Statesman, Texas may soon require warning labels on some of your favorite household foods. Skittles, Mountain Dew, Doritos. Senate Bill 25, which was sent to Governor Greg Abbott's desk on Sunday, would require packaged food manufacturers to put warning labels on products with certain ingredients, including a number of synthetic dyes. So these labels, these warning labels, are going to say not for human consumption.
Well, then what's going to happen then, man?
They're hoping that many of the food products will change the synthetic dyes that they use, but it'll affect things like M&M's, Sour Patch Kids, Little Bites muffins, bleach flour, all
yummy.
these different things are going to have to put these warning labels if this bill is passed. So next time you go to your local convenience store to pick up your bag of Doritos, Rob, it may have a warning label on there that says "Don't eat this."
Well, I've been eating yellow number 34 and red dye number 17 for 41 years, brother, and I feel great.
You feel great, and you're the one that threw rocks at the car.
Actually, they linked the red dye to rock throwing. Yeah, it was linked in there. So.
Oh yeah. So there's some news you can use this morning if you.
There it is.
Yeah, just use it as much as you feel the need to.
Well, Jason, thanks. It's been a fun morning. And again, thank you, as always, just for your help, man. I didn't know y'all were coming this morning. Thank you. I know Molly had mentioned you were going to try to come a little bit early, and you brought the boys. And so I wanted to thank Elijah and also Jeremiah for being here this morning. I forgot Elijah's name a while ago. I said – I told him I was bragging. I said it took me 2 years to finally remember you guys, and then I forgot his name.
That's all right. That's all right.
And he said, "Don't you ever?" No, he didn't. He's the nicest young man. So now Jeremiah, though, he's going to be a basketball star. I've heard.
That's what he's going to. He loves basketball. Let me just put it that way.
He's got his jersey hanging up in the FLC. I mean, there's
Jimmy did that. Phyllis's husband.
I love it.
He took that jersey and he told him he wanted him to sign it, and so he signed it, and then he hung it up in there.
Awesome. Well, hey, one final time before we sign off, we're going to have Sky Carlton in a minute. We're going to take we'll end the stream, and then we'll come back with Sky here in just a little bit from Deep Clean, Texas. She's our 9 a.m. sponsor. But we do want to remind you, please, I know we're out here having fun, but we're out here having fun for a great cause. It is the 3rd annual Rays of Hope. Big thank you to Elliot Herzlich for helping us put this on. Also, Spirit 94.3. We host it here with Hello Huntsville. And, of course, Zach with HEB, because here everything's better.
That's right.
At HEB. So come on out. Be out. We're right here in the parking lot. We're looking for canned foods, non-perishable food items, gently used items also that we can donate to the resale shop over at Safe House. Gift cards. We had somebody come through a while ago with a $200 gift card. We're going to directly give that already to HISD Social Services.
Awesome.
So right away they're going to get that. But we're also no baby items yet, and we would love to take a really good haul over to the care center this morning. So please come, or whenever we deliver those, but please come this morning, come today, bring those baby items, diapers and wipes. We could use those. The care center could use them. And we'd love to have you out. So
yeah, and let me just encourage everybody once again. I mean, this is a great event that Rob does and helps put on here. 3rd year in a row. There's nothing that is better than just coming. You don't have to. If you don't want to, you can just drive through right here. We're right at the front, right across from the gas stations here at HEB. So just pull through here, and we'll have somebody meet you at your car and help us raise money for this great cause.
Awesome. And we'll see all of you on Sunday. Come 1045. What's the series this Sunday? I know we're continuing the Hebrews.
We'll be in Hebrews chapter 2. We've been talking about, last Sunday we talked about the supremacy of Christ. This Sunday we're talking about the humanity of Christ as the author makes the indication that Jesus is made a little lower than the angels. He talks about for the atonement sacrifice of Jesus. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, come. I wanted to say one last thing, Jason. I've been watching. Amazon's really cool, the Prime Video, because you'll start with one thing and then it tries to think, well, maybe they'll like this, and it'll continue on. And I watched The Last Supper. That was a really good rendition of that. And then it took me into something that was produced years ago from the entire book of Acts. They actually act out the book of Acts verse by verse. And I've really enjoyed watching this. And for someone like me, it's really hard sometimes just to sit and read.
Yeah.
But if I can see something visually, it helps. And I like watching programs, but I want to make sure that I read the Bible. I'm not going to depend on a program, but this is really neat, and I wish they would do this with every book of the Bible. They've actually acted out and they read the Bible as and there's nothing that they throw in extra.
That's awesome.
So, and it follows the NIV. It's the coolest thing that I've ever seen.
Yeah, that is neat.
And they show it on the screen too, the chapter and the verse.
Used to, the production quality of those videos was so terrible, but now they're so great. They've got such great producers designing that stuff. It's great. I mean, The Chosen is a perfect example of what they've been able to do.
There's like new animated kids series now from like Angel Studios.
I saw that. King of Kings has done really well.
Did y'all watch that?
I haven't watched it yet, but it's on our to-do list this summer.
Perfect. Well, all right. Well, we'll see you at 10:45 on Sunday. But before then, we'll see you out here at Rays of Hope. Jason,
Definitely.
thank you, man.
Thank you,
Appreciate
brother.
you
Good
very
to see
much.
you. Thank you for doing this.
You bet. That'll end it. We'll be back, though, in a little bit. We'll end the stream. We'll come back on in just a few minutes with our friend Sky Carlton of Deep Clean, Texas. Friends, as I end every single broadcast, especially on this Thankful Thursday, reminding you that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We're really not. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. I guarantee somebody out there needs you. Until later today, we'll see you next time. God bless every one of you. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.